Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. Today we're going to analyze the new Dawn skins that have recently arrived in Dominion. We'll be looking at the new skins for Miu and Somna, and we'll also talk about Satori and Cascade, whose Dawn skins were released just a few days earlier. Before we continue, a quick reminder for Hero Wars Alliance players on Android. Huawei AppGallery has several June promotions running right now, and the most important one is the new Summer Vibe campaign. EU players can unlock an extra 5% coupon back through this limited time offer, but it is only available until June 30th and will not continue after June. The Road to Glory campaign is also still active. Players in selected countries can get up to 25% coupon savings and up to 25% savings on physical prizes. Other countries also have a 20% coupon campaign available. On top of that, UK and Italy users can enjoy special PaySafeCard Rewards with up to 9% back. Make sure to check the campaign links in the description, join the new official AppGallery Discord for full details, and don't wait too long because some offers have limited stock. Let's start with Miu. Honestly, there's not a huge amount to discuss here. Her Dawn skin provides magic attack, and that's exactly the stat Miu wants. Everything in her kit scales beautifully with magic attack. It increases the damage of her abilities, improves her overall pressure on the battlefield, and naturally complements her magical critical hit mechanics. After receiving what was already an outstanding second talisman a few days ago, this skin feels like another completely natural upgrade for her. Every new addition Miu has received seems to push her even further into the current meta. She may still be one of the newer heroes in Hero Wars Alliance, but she's quickly becoming one of those heroes that many players simply want to have on their account, much like Polaris. So, returning to the skin itself. If Miu is one of your main heroes and you're investing in her, then yes, this is an excellent skin. Of course, every player has different goals and different priorities for their account. We're simply here to explain what each upgrade brings so you can make the decision that best suits your own progression. Now let's move on to Somna. And here, I think there's a bit more room for discussion. Somna is generally used to interrupt physical teams. She applies sleep, builds drowsiness stacks, reduces physical damage and armor penetration, and eventually punishes aggressive heroes by transforming them into sheep. Her new Dawn skin provides magic reflection. Now Guardians. Some players will love this stat. Others won't. And that's perfectly fine. Personally, I've always liked magic reflection. There's something satisfying about seeing an opponent launch a huge magical attack, only to watch part of that damage immediately come back at them. The attacker suddenly becomes the one taking damage. Now, does this skin completely change Somna? No. Absolutely not. Does it make her abilities suddenly work differently? Again, no. Her role remains exactly the same. But in Hero Wars, every advantage matters. If you can reflect additional magical damage while doing everything Somna already does so well, then in my opinion, that's a good skin. An important skin. But not necessarily a skin I'd classify as an immediate must-have. Now let's move on to Satori. We're only touching briefly on his Dawn skin today for one simple reason. It was released through Sia's game. And there's a big difference between recommending a skin that's easily obtainable, and recommending one that's locked behind a luck-based event. We never tell players they should spend. That decision is entirely yours. Our job is simply to provide the information so you can make your own choices. Now, Satori's Dawn skin provides magic penetration. and Guardians. Satori was already an incredible hero before this skin. This pushes him even further. With the Dawn skin fully upgraded, Satori reaches almost 50,000 magic penetration. That's an enormous amount. It allows him to bypass a massive portion of an opponent's magic defense. And if you combine that with additional magic penetration from other sources, you're looking at values approaching 60,000 magic penetration. That's absolutely insane. It makes one of the strongest burst damage heroes in the game even more dangerous. But don't worry if you didn't obtain this skin during Sia's game. In a few months, it will most likely appear in paid bundles at a much lower cost. And after roughly 6 months, it should eventually become available throughout land just like previous skins. So there will be more opportunities to obtain it. Finally, let's talk about Cascade. Cascade also received a Dawn skin focused on armor penetration. Fully upgraded, it pushes Cascade close to 47,000 armor penetration, which is another very impressive number. And remember, Cascade is unique. Depending on the ability being used, Cascade can convert damage types, meaning armor penetration can effectively become extremely valuable even when dealing magical damage through the hero's adaptive mechanics. So yes, it's another very strong skin. However, Cascade has become a much more situational hero lately. Not forgotten. Definitely not weak. But far more situational than before. The good news is that Cascade's relics arrive on Monday. And honestly, that's what we're really excited about. Because once we have access to those relics, we'll finally be able to test everything ourselves, analyze the new mechanics in real battles, and see exactly where Cascade stands in the current meta. Only then will we know the hero's true potential. So Guardians, which of these new Dawn skins do you think offers the biggest upgrade? Are you investing in Miu, Somna, Satori? Or are you waiting to see what Cascade's relics bring? Let us know in the comments below. Stay tuned. Stay sharp. And as always, salute and friendship.